Let's go to Tony, who is in Maryland. What's up, Tony?
Yeah, morning. I have a question. What is wrong with Beyonce's song that she enters her? Kamala Harris's song that she enters her speeches with. What is wrong with that song? I don't have a problem with Lee Greenwood opening for Donald Trump. Why is that an issue?
So you didn't get the joke, Tony?
No,
do you know the song that she's playing?
Joke or not, I mean, out of all the things that's going on in the world, that's something that you wanted to joke about.
Oh, Tony, we've been talking for 2 hours, Tony. I made a 5-second joke about the song. Goodness. So isn't it funny the criticisms you get? Okay, so I just spent 25 minutes going through the detailed, precise bills that she supported. And then I got someone that calls in and says, oh, Slater, you're talking too much detail. And then Tony calls and says, of all the things you could talk about, you talked about her song. It's like, geez, Tony. Tony, the joke was that her song is called Freedom. We just had a woman call in and say that that Kamala is all about control, but she's walking out to a song called Freedom. You get the joke?
Actually, all about control. What are you talking about?
Okay, but Beyonce's song that she walks out to is called Freedom.
Yeah.
So she's about control, but her song is called Freedom. That's the joke.
How is she about control? What are you talking about? Whether you say she's for control?
Okay.
Control
okay.
of
So
what?
she supports. Okay, Tony. She supports guaranteed minimum income, which means the government would give in her bill $6,000 a month to every single person in the country. That is control, because with that comes stipulations. You can only spend this money on certain things in certain ways at certain times. All right, this is just the beginning of it. Eventually, the vision is to have all of your money come from the government with major stipulations over what you're allowed to spend on or not allowed to. That's one example of control.
Listen, I called like a month ago or so, and I was talking to one of your hosts about the convention.
Well, Tony,
they told me
what I
that.
just said. Tony, what about, is this, go ahead, finish your thought, but do you have a response to what I just, you asked for an example of control and I gave you an example of control. Do you have a thought on that?
I don't have nothing. I don't have no idea what you're talking about as far as that.
Okay, let me get that one's a little more complicated. Let me give you a simpler one. Just on control. You're the one who called in and asked about it. She wants no private health insurance. Danita just brought this one up. No private health insurance. Okay, so you don't get to choose what health insurance and what health care providers you're allowed to have. She wants to control where you're allowed to go to get your health care.
Sure, it's called private for a reason. Why you can't buy private insurance?
I know.
Most rich people have private insurance. So what are you talking about?
She wants to get rid of that.
How the heck? How are you going to tell somebody?
I know. How the heck? It's crazy, isn't it?
It's not going to. She hasn't said it, and it's not going to happen. So why are you saying it?
Oh, Tony. What do you mean she hasn't said it? I just told you a bill that she wrote that would do exactly that.
What's the name of the bill?
Multiple times.
What's the name of the bill again?
Oh, I'll look it up. Give me 2 minutes during the break. I'll take a break here. Of course there is. I'll tell you the bill name in just a minute.
Y'all need to stop trying to make stuff up all the time. That's what y'all need to do. Just tell the truth. What's so hard about telling the truth?
Oh, Tony, stop it. I'll put you on hold. Hang on. Listen, if you're brave enough, hang on the line. I'll come back in 2 minutes and I'll tell you the name of the bill. Jeez. Here is one example. Here is the debate, the Democratic debate.
This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay. Let me start with you, Mayor.
Okay, they all raised their hands. Tony, I'll give you 30 more seconds. You got 30 seconds. We literally have to go in 30 seconds. Every single one of the Democratic nominees raised their hands, including Kamala Harris.
What Kamala Harris recently said was no one should be denied medical care if they happen to be injured in a hospital. That's what her most recent.
Tony, that's.
Come on now.
That's it.
If you want to be if you want to call yourself a serious journalist or reporter or whatever, you got to report what's accurate, up to date.
Okay, up to date, sure. So, Tony, you think that her vision, coming from California, by the way, which I lived in and I know exactly what they do in California with this stuff, you think her vision is merely to help illegal aliens who get injured while climbing the wall and then stop right there? From that point forward, no more health care, no more health insurance for those illegal aliens? That's what you think is going to happen?
You're going to have to say that again.